Good soldiers follow orders.
TV, whenever you're ready.
All right. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Baddest Batch. We are on episode 5. Hello, gentlemen. How are we?
Phenomenal.
Good evening,
Doing
Mr.
good.
Bond.
Thought you were about to do hello there.
Hello there,
General Kenobi.
General. We've gone off the rails already.
Already off the rails, but what do you expect from three Aussies who are just talking shit about Star Wars? We've got some exciting topics to talk to today. We're going to talk about a bit of deck discussion for the emerging meta since the recent suspension update. We are going to do a bit more of a deeper discussion on our upcoming 2K and event pricing. And we also have a really exciting partnership with LaserGaming that we are going to talk about. Tebow is going to run us through some of the awesome stuff that's coming out of there. Without further ado, I think we just kick right in.
All right.
Let's do this.
Following the ban.
So,
Who's back?
who's back? I mean, we saw it right out of the last the sectors and all that stuff. Jango just dominating the field. Everyone's on Jango. Everyone's playing Jango. Get ready to play the meta. Get ready to play the mirror. It's all happening. But now there's options, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is what we're at. What do we think, guys?
I
There's
think
something I
Jango
don't
being
like.
banned was a good thing still.
Top right. Yuck. Huh. Go up to top left.
What is it? Is
Yuck.
my picture in the top right, is it?
Yeah, it's just a self-portrait, really, at this point, isn't it?
Look, Clint, I'm sure you're happy. Obviously, Sabine's kind of back in the mix. But yeah, like look, regardless, this says some things there that I'm not very happy to see because I don't really want to verse them, but it's good for the meta. Like, bit of diversity, like something like Kira, it's good that it's back on the scene. I don't think Quinlan ever left. But things like Palpatine can come back. Obviously, nothing to do with Jango. It's more to do with the DJ ban. But Palpatine can come back, and I think he's going to do pretty good. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about it, TV,
I'm
but
excited.
yeah.
I'm excited for Palp. He's been my favorite. It's the first showcase I ever pulled. My favorite leader since set 1. I played him into set 2. The DJ ban, I think, couldn't have come sooner. I'm okay with the pacing overall, because I think as part of this suspension, we talked about it in the last episode that we did. Like, if they just ban Jango and TDR, we're just going to go back to a Han-dominated meta because of how hectic it is with the DJ combo. Now you get rid of DJ, I think it's leveling out the playing field a lot more. Control decks are going to make a comeback, which means it's not always going to be as dominated in the mid-range scene. So I think it's good. I'm keen.
And I think the aggro is going to make a comeback as well. Like, because the control is going to make a comeback, so is the aggro, right? Because you're going to have to counter those aggro again.
Well, the rock paper scissors is back in this now. Like, Django's not just smashing everything and keeping everything down. Now we're going to see kind of like bit of balances in some graphs where there's just going to be more leaders, more variety of leaders. So when you're deck building, you're not just going to be gunning for, all right, how do I tech my leader or deck if I'm not playing Jango? How do I tech it against Jango? Now you're going to have to lean more into the archetypes that you're building, which I think's really exciting. I think you're right. I don't think Quinlan really went anywhere.
Yeah.
But it's still a very strong shell in that yellow-red heroic.
Yeah.
I think Tarkin Town, those ping decks.
Yeah.
It's a very strong shell, but I still think it's one of those decks that's kind of like a 50-50. It's kind of what Kira was back in set 3 or set 2.
Yeah, during Shadows.
It wasn't amazing into anything. It didn't get any free wins, but it wasn't an auto loss into the meta either.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Quinlan and Kira will probably sit moving forward. Is they're not auto losses, but they're not auto wins, and you're gonna really have to grind out your matchups like the whole day if you're playing them in a competitive event.
Yeah.
Those shells do wonderful things. The leaders don't do anything that's broken. They don't change the nature of the game. I think they do things. They're also, like you said, they're 50-50 because they are relatively easy to disrupt. If you know what they're going to do, you can disrupt them. That's what I mean by relatively easy. If you know what you have to do to disrupt them, you can. I mean, obviously you've still got to draw it, but they're powerful. I think they're going to see some play, and hopefully see some placements in top 8s and finals and things like that.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I don't think any one of these decks is gonna dominate the meta moving forward. Bosk maybe might get a little bit out of hand because the Sabine Bosk matchup was already a little bit sketchy.
Yeah. Tough for
Um,
who? Tough for Sabine?
Tough for Sabine.
Yeah.
It's a little bit sketchy for Sabine, so it's going to be a little bit sketchy for other aggro decks as well. If we're putting
It's tough
Sabine
for
as the
everyone.
top.
Like Bosk
Yeah,
is tough for
yeah.
everyone. Like I played a game against it with Anakin earlier, and I pulled through. But it's at any moment, if he double heals, and if he gets to the late game, like you're not coming back from the Avenger in the snow, can do vigilance, and like it's
Well,
it's
with
tough for
the
everyone.
issue running Anakin into that is that you've got no units to boost yourself with. Like you're
Mhm.
not. There's very few units for you to efficiently
Absolutely.
trade with.
Yeah.
So you're just playing super duper fair when you're playing Anakin into something like Bosk or even Palpatine, I would imagine.
Funnily enough, I found the Kanan and the K2SO kept it in check. He could never deploy his boss because he was like, well, if he trades up into it, like, well, my Kanan would have survived, my boss could have killed it, and then discarded. So like I found those two were really good into him. He's like he could never I think he deployed, but like I ended up boosting and kill him. Um, so yeah, that worked out pretty well. But Han's gonna be still great. I think yellow, green, maybe some red. Funnily enough, we talk about that yellow, red hero shell being really good in Quinlan, but not really something that's seen in Han too much. Just because Han does other things so well. Sabine, same thing, could go into that red, yellow route, but the ECL is just so tremendously good. So we'll see. Kira Green probably.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
getting back to that archetype, that Kira blue, green, black, boss green. Seen a little bit of that online.
Oh man, that's such a
lately.
good deck. That's such a
Yeah,
good deck.
I just played earlier today. Bosk Data Vault.
Oh yuck.
So I was on Piet,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I'm slightly favored into that matchup, especially because I just don't play units
Yeah, I
early on,
guess.
so you're not going to get your early bounties
Yeah,
against me.
true.
He didn't actually get a death mark until I deployed Piet, and then he had to throw everything he had into killing Piet. And by that point, I already had. I mean, to close off the game, I had a green Devastator and I played an Annihilator. So I ramped 3 times.
CJ from Canberra obliterated me with his boss screen last time I went to Canberra event.
Yes. He
So-
He
slapped
obliterated me
around.
as well.
No
He slapped me around.
No looking forward to playing them again. But yeah, so
Well, they are known as the Bosk Boys down there. They've got a little,
They do
they've got a
they do
little,
run that
little
pretty well.
gang that we're going to have to prepare for when we go down to Onyx in a couple of weeks, and
Have
then
to take
the
against
PQ a couple of weeks later.
Tech against Bosk.
We're
yeah.
coming for you, boys. We're coming for you.
We are. We are.
Hide your boss.
Right.
Hide your wives.
So yes, we are excited to get down to Canberra in a couple of weeks. Very, very keen. But these are the ones who we think are, going to see a little bit more play. Who do we think is going to be a little bit of an outlier that will, hasn't previously been up in the ranks, that might see some play now that we've got no Jango?
Well, I guess the initial discussion is who fills that Jango spot now that TDR's gone and Jango's gone. What does that red yellow villain shell look like? And there is a surprising entry in there with Major Von Reg.
I think it's Cad Bane just purely because of the familiarity of the deck. I think people will feel comfortable going, like people who want to win, like you'll feel comfortable going back to a Cad. Cad Tarkentown is really solid. Still have that first turn ping, kill you turn one kind of threat. And it's a good deck. It can do almost the same thing because you're going to play a little bit differently, but like your full arm is still phenomenal. Your Zucker's full arm. Yeah, you still have you can do some stuff with Toro, with the bounty hunters. Like there's a lot of good stuff in that
Cad
Cad
Bane
Bane
unit,
underworld. Yeah,
very strong.
Cad Bane unit is
Very
phenomenal. I don't know. I feel like that's super solid. but Boba slots in directly into the void that Jango left. I guess a bit easier. You don't have to change the deck at all.
Yeah,
You don't
almost.
have to, but the Boba Fett doesn't apply as much pressure now without the TDR, because the Boba Fett is fairly easy to disrupt also.
Yes.
Because all you're doing is if he's loading you up with indirect, you just dump it on all your units.
If you have
or
units, man.
That becomes the play.
Yeah.
If you've got units to do it on, absolutely. I think Boba. I disagree a little bit. I think Boba is the natural choice for a lot of people. I think Cad does his own thing outside of that yellow red
Yeah.
villainy. When you go back to Django, like Cad Tarkentown was still kind of a thing last set, and he was doing very different things to that Django red Tarkentown sort of that shell.
Absolutely.
So I think Cad's evolved a little bit now. Like we're seeing a lot of that Cad Colossus deck, which has done relatively well. It's quite new, so I mean people are still sort of fleshing it out. I think if you compare the Von Reg and the Boba Fett, those two decks also do two very different things.
They do, yes.
Von Reg is just your hard aggro,
Sure.
pushing as much damage as quickly. Boba Fett going to lean more into those indirect damage ones to benefit more from that ability. And so you're going to see a bit of a watering down of not just those space units, I kind of think. But
yeah, I don't know.
It's going to be interesting to see.
They do fill, all three leaders fill three very different archetypes in that same sort of shout. Like Boba Fett, you're going for the mid range. I mean, Cad Bane is mid range as well. It might be a little bit more tempo based than Boba.
They're both 6 costs, both Boba and
yeah,
Cad.
they're both 6 costs. Von Reg, definitely in the aggro shell. You're just wanting to, sneak attack in a big unit. On the 4 or 5 resource mark, you want to try and get Von Reg on his ship or another ship to push through some damage, reset him, push through some more damage.
Yeah.
And with Django gone now, playing pilot leaders is a lot more feasible.
True.
As well, because you're not just you're just not deploying your leader and you're getting tapped.
Yeah.
Boba, it didn't really affect because he came out so late and because of his, I can do 4 damage when I deploy, not a massive, huge deal. Like you could attack with a ship, then just deploy Boba on an exhausted ship and still get 4 damage in. Obviously, that's not super efficient, but
yeah,
now you don't have to worry about that to some effect, and people aren't going to be teching for Jango with electromagnetic pulses, etc., like that anti-vehicle tech. You're going to have more opportunities to play these pilot leaders and at least get 1 or 2 hits out of them.
Speaking of pilot leaders, we also have Kaz and Poe in there. I think they'll do good. I don't know if they'll win PQs, but there'll be some top 8s for sure. Poe ECL, I think, is a really good deck.
Very good.
Kaz, I'm not too sure yet where he lies in terms of what aspect he goes best with. I know, Clint, you and I literally just played a game when you played Kaz Yellow, which is fast. He's got a lot of punch.
When it goes off, it goes off.
When it goes off, it goes off. It's dynamite. How easy that is to disrupt, I don't know.
I think the Cunning Shell is the best one for him, but I like the
very glass cannony.
It is.
When I've watched you play it, it kind of reminds me of playing Kylo.
Yeah.
Like it'll do its thing, and if it, like you said, if it goes off, hits hard and fast. Like most games are over by resource 5.
Yeah.
Like you're just done. But if you disrupt it, it does run out of steam very quickly.
Well, this is where I think it's possible something like the Kaz Thermal Oscillator is a little bit better. If you're going to be a glass cannon deck, you go the Thermal Oscillator so you can dig into your pumps faster, and you've got more pumps that in the red version, and you've got great units like Black One where you can just start pumping out damage really.
Even K2,
really.
K2's a phenomenal.
K2.
You got the Cassians and stuff like that, the Pose. Yeah, you got some.
If you can K2 on 4, like let's just say you don't get the Kaz out, if you can K2 on 4 and then Hotshot Blaster like K2, into a unit to overwhelm, die, or whatever, like you can end games with K2 there.
Absolutely.
Or a Poe.
And Heroic Sacrifice, like that's 90. If you can hit him to base, that's 90 a base.
That's 90 base. Yeah.
It's pretty
So,
huge.
so the thermal oscillator version of Kaz. Poe, we're playing some blue Poe before the ban. I've been playing a bit of Poe ECL. Plays very different to Sabine. So
Really
it's
good.
not just I'm going to do Sabine things with it, but I would almost argue it's a little bit faster than Sabine.
I can see that. I can see that. If you can't
can
counter
just
the
keep,
space,
yeah,
Donskis.
Well, you're just coming out earlier, right? Like, because I mean, I played your blue one, and I still talk about like you can, and I guess you can do this in an ECL deck as well. If your first turn is a black one from
Yeah.
JTL, and then you can put Poe on it, like next turn you're hitting for 5.
you're hitting for
plus
5. Yeah.
plus dealing a ping somewhere. Like,
Yep. And then you've got cool little tricks like, attacking with heroic sacrifice on Poe on his flip turn on a ship, goes back to thing, and then you can deploy him to ground.
Yeah.
And so you can hit for like 5, then another 4. So that's 9 in that turn that may go unanswered.
Yeah.
So he's fairly aggressive. Maybe he was gate kept, or people just didn't really think he was that great. But ever since I played him, I've been pleasantly surprised. And I think like my decks for Onyx is probably either between this or Sabine, I would say.
You won't have to make too many changes.
No.
we start a pool now for which one it ends
Yeah.
up being, because my money is immediately going on Sabine.
Same. Then there's Gar. Look, Gar did some good stuff last set. He won the Melbourne PQ, and then ever since after that, people started paying attention. Obviously, this set with some really good additions. I think Iden Verzo slots in there really good.
New Boba pilot.
Krennic, new Boba pilot, the new Krennic slots in there really good. Krennic shuttle, what's his name? The ST, the one that moves token upgrades.
Yeah.
That one. That's a really good one as well. Now you have that 3/3 vigilance one with the shield.
Yeah, the
bounty
Outer
hunter.
Rim Outlaws.
Yeah, Outer
Like
Rim
it's
Outlaws.
just
You have
it's
some
just a
good
good
additions.
deck. Like
It
it's a good.
is.
It doesn't do anything broken. It's like Quinlan and Kira. It's a 50-50 deck.
Yeah.
And you're right, it's not it's fair.
Yeah.
It does what it does, and it's not doing anything that's going to break the game. I think, yes, you can. Kind of like not kind of like, but in the same vein, when I was playing Krennic ECL, there was always a fine line between victory and defeat, and you had to walk that line quite carefully. I kind of feel like Gar is the same kind of deal. Like, he comes out at 6, which, late for some people.
Early
But
progress.
his ability is just an average good ability if
It's
you
solid.
built a deck around things
Yeah.
like, a bunch of shields and you can
Yeah.
you can aggressively attack. If you've got the yellow, you've got all the surprise strikes and all those really cool things. So I think, yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what comes up now that we've got.
He gets a new toy in the next set as well, in that new Dooku.
Yep.
I haven't seen it.
I think there's going to be, it's always interesting when stuff like this happens, where, the suspension, the aim of the suspension was to completely shake up the meta, reduce the dominancy of that one particular deck, being Jango. They've done it so that it doesn't just mean another yellow-black leader or red-black with that yellow shell. Just takes the top spot by getting rid of the TDR.
Yeah.
And then I added that it's not just going to go back to last set's meta with Han dominating everybody by getting rid of the DJ.
And I can't remember what they said. I don't know if it was the judges stream the other day or if it was the FFG stream, but they said, and this is a ongoing debate about FFG internal testing versus real world testing and what's dominant. But they expected they expected Jango to be strong, but they expected another set 4 leader to be completely dominant.
Yeah, that was in the judge one. I remember that.
They didn't say who it was. Could have been Piet. I actually think with some discussion that I saw, it might have actually meant to have been Von Reg.
Okay, potentially.
All right.
Also, just going back to his slide, obviously, Piet is not there because we didn't feel like he fit in the guess who's back type of archetype, because I think we thought that Django's ban didn't do much for Piet. Piet was strong. Piet is strong. Piet's going to do good. So he's there. Piet is considered one of the top decks.
He didn't get better or worse.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he's still doing his thing. I mean, yeah, we've done it. I love him. I love playing big pizza slice ships for cheaper than what they should be.
In terms of who is back, I would have Anakin in there. Personally, the group didn't agree, but I think
I said I'd put Anakin in there. I had
Anakin's
no
not
problem
okay.
with putting Anakin in
To
there.
me, Jango's disruption did a lot to Anakin, and I think Anakin is definitely back in. But we'll see.
Look, I think the health of the game, right? This ban's kind of done what it was aiming to do, I kind of feel, which was shake up the meta. Hopefully we see a bunch of these new decks come in and, let's get excited about what is going to happen at the next PQ season. All right. Next on the list is the very start of Australia's PQ season for JTL. We'll begin with yours truly, the Baddest Batch 2K, which is becoming our sort of our constant now, hopefully. Our signature move, if you will. We want to take a few minutes just to talk about the event itself and the prizing that we've got sorted. So Clint's done up a wonderful slide here for us, so we'll go through that. But first, I guess just a bit of a reiteration, similar to the last event that we ran. It's a bit of a mix between casual and competitive. It's we're the day before a PQ, we're helping run the PQ the next day. We're going to use all of the competitive rules, regulations, all that stuff like we did last time. All the suspensions are going to be involved. It's a good opportunity for practice into a PQ and, get used to the format in a more casual setting. We're not going to be as rules lawyery for some of the regulation stuff. Obviously, the rules of the game itself is going to be a bit different. But yeah, if you enjoyed the last event, make sure you make it to this one. We're, sparing no expense in terms of prizing. We want to make this a good day for everyone. Then the very next day, same location, Sydney's first PQ of the season, actually Australia's first PQ of the season, which is awesome. It's May the 4th weekend. Like, what else do you want to be doing on Star Wars weekend?
Some may call it an Australian first, having a PQ on May the 4th on Star Wars Day.
It is an Australian first.
That's it. It's an Australian first, and we're here for it, right? We're excited. So, keeping the same sort of stuff. First place, 2 boxes of JTL. Second place gets a box. Third and fourth get half a box each. 5th to 8th get 6 packs each. Everyone on the day outside the top 8 is going to get at least 3 packs. One thing we are really excited to talk about, and you can see the little preview that we've got there, is our champion, finalist, top 4, and top 8 playmats. Now, we want to thank the artist, Rob himself from Onyx, for
Thanks, Rob.
cooking this just beautiful mat up for us. We love it. We've been sitting on this for a little while.
Yes.
Super excited to use it for the first time. It looks fucking sick. Right?
It looks fucking sick.
It's so good.
We'll have some for ourselves. What would we get those done for you guys? Don't best believe we'll have some for ourselves.
Yeah,
we'll have some serialized ones. 1 of 1, 2, 3 of 4, and 4 of 4.
yeah, we'll get that nice extra one.
Obviously, they'll be invaluable with numbers on them.
Yeah, just thousands, really. Thousands.
Who gets number 1 then?
We fight for it, right?
We fight.
We all verse each other in like a round robin. And look, lucky door prizes. Let's go through those. Clint, do you want to take us through the lucky door prizes? Because this is going to be jammed packed with just products to give away to people on the day.
So the lucky door prizes. So this is everyone. Everyone gets thrown in the hat. We'll have the Wheel of Fortune running on the day. We'll run this in between at the end of the Swiss before the top 8. First one is a Black Series helmet. I don't know if you've got one on hand there, Tivi, to show, but
you do.
Does he have one in the background there?
Yeah, you do.
He's got the Vader one.
Now,
it won't be a Vader one.
We're not sure. It could be. We haven't decided.
It could well be a Vader one.
We actually look.
It could be that very Vader one.
No. Okay, I'll get people a new one.
It'll have Tivi's scent in it as well.
Look, I'll model that if people want it.
Yeah, as of right now, it could be either a Vader or a clone. Those work better for us. We're thinking of getting a pilot one. Financially, it's not as easy. So it could be a Vader or a clone. Put it in the comments if you have a preference in terms of which Black Series helmet you would like to see. At the PQ, we will definitely take suggestions and poll votes for that. So please let us know.
And then we've had some community members donate some showcases to us to give away as lucky door prizes as well. So the first one
go.
is a Luke Skywalker Jump to Lightspeed showcase, that was donated by Tim Valletta in Perth.
Mm-hmm.
So you may remember
What a
hearing
wedge.
Tim on the stream the other day with Tebow when they were streaming the Baddest Batch 1K.
You can hear
Jump
him
to Lightspeed
very well
event.
because you can hear him better than me. You can hear him very well.
And then we have had Team Card Titan from up in Brisbane, I believe. They have donated a Rio Durant Jump to Lightspeed showcase
Thank
that we'll
you,
give
guys.
away as a lucky door prize as well.
Yep.
VR, our Overlords, our Star Wars Unlimited Overlords that distribute the game, they are providing us with deck pods, mats, soft crates, sleeves that we can give away as lucky door prizes as well. And we're also going to have booster packs to give out from previous sets as well. So we've got a bunch of prizing, and I believe we said before that if we get to 48 players,
Yep.
we're also going to throw in a box of Carbonite again. So that'll be distributed throughout the top 8 and some lucky door prizes of Carbonite packs as well.
The more you read through this, the more I want to play. Because I'm like, there's a lot. There's a lot to
Look,
be
There's a
won
lot
here.
there.
There's
There's a
yeah,
lot there.
It's awesome because we've also had one of our own locals, Rowan, donate a deck pod for prizing. Like, it's just awesome to see
yeah.
like community members want to throw in and make these events even more awesome. Like,
Mhm.
we said it last time. We talked about this in previous videos. We talked about this at our last event. Like, we're not doing this to make money. We just want to have a good Star Wars event. Try and grow the game, grow the community, bring us all together. And the way you do that, and like, we want everyone to get something. Like,
Hell yeah.
we want people to walk away from it, even if you don't play super well, you have fun playing the game, walk away with some cool swag, and it's a good time, right? Like, I think we talked about it, Clint, when we went down to Onyx last year. It was a great day. We're excited to go down in a couple of weeks. We kind of wanted that for Sydney, and that's kind of the essence and of what we sort of are trying to build and keep going. We want to make these double headers signature if we can. We don't always guarantee that there's always going to be a PQ, though. If we can plan it that way, we will probably very much try to, because I think who doesn't love a good full weekend of SWU? Can be very draining, but it is good fun, right? Make it worth it for you guys who have traveled interstate. We had guys from Brisbane, Canberra,
And we have guys
WA, Victoria, yeah, like guys
planning
who've
to be
already,
here. They're planning to be
bought
here already for the
tickets.
next one. Yep. We have interstate travelers already coming, so
The sweaty players from Perth are locked in and ready to come take the mantle.
and they haven't even seen the mat yet. Imagine if they had seen the mat. They're all gonna come.
And shout out to Sydney players. You guys need to get onto your tickets, because I'm looking at the transactions, and there's a lot of postcodes starting with 6 in these tickets. Like, I want to start seeing some 2s, guys. Like, where he is at, let's go. Victorian guys, get back up here. Fight for the top spot. We want to see it. We like seeing. I think what's fun about, I think what I loved most about our first event was just the coming together of so many people from across the country playing this game that we all love, but also bringing their kind of takes on them and bringing their flavor.
Their flavor, yeah.
It was sick, right? Like, yeah, there was some of those consistent ones that you see across the world, but there was some people who brought some stuff that, like, we didn't expect a lot out of Twilight. And shout out to Perth Sean for Yoda.
Yes.
Back in Twilight, that was sick. He did well, and that was a wild deck. I loved watching some of those games. So I love seeing that stuff.
Look, going back to your point before, we'd like to set the expectation that this happens once every set, where there's a double header. Obviously, we can't guarantee it, but we'd like to create this event where people do travel in for it, and just looking at the pricing here, it can only get bigger and better from here. And who knows, we might be able to at some stage throw a 3-day event, once per year. In set 6, we might throw a big 3-day event where we have a team event and then a 2K or 3K or whatever, and then the PQ on the Sunday or something like that, so we can get everyone in Australia just coming for the 3 days and like having a big event. But obviously, we need everyone's support for that, and if that's something people are interested in as well, I just think that's a really great idea. If we have like a set 6, bon voyage to prior to rotation,
See you,
and just have
Sabine.
like a big, massive event, because
Yeah.
who knows if we'll get a sectors or not this year.
Uh-huh.
But
We're working on
if
it.
we can do like a big set 6 bon voyage to sets 1 through 3 with
Yeah.
everyone in Australia, be fucking awesome.
I like a little touch of French you're sprinkling in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, a couple things, like we might have to change this heading. I don't know if it's a 2K anymore because we keep adding pricing.
Yeah.
Look,
It's not.
I've run the math. It's not. It's actually
not.
more. But I think the what Clint said, just to sort of just sprinkle a little bit on it. We do need you, like the listeners, to support us in this. We cannot do it without you guys. All of this is scalable, because we don't want, if we don't sell out, or we don't get more up to 48 people, and we get, like we did for the 1K, we got 32 people. We'll scale the pricing. We'll still max it out and make it a great day. We've sort of we've done our own math and run our own numbers. We're still including a bucket load of prizes, even at 32 people. Like pretty much all of this is pretty much included.
And this probably isn't at all. There'll probably be more stuff added in the next 3 weeks.
Well, especially because you don't have the laser gaming stuff on there.
I don't. No,
which
I don't.
We'll show you guys that in a minute, but there are some laser gaming stuff on there to be won as well. So it's setting up.
Help
Buy
us
your
out.
fucking tickets.
Buy your tickets, please. And if you haven't bought a ticket, but you are intending to come, jump into our Discord. We've got a poll running. Helps us organize. We cannot stress it enough, because we've got to look at things like tables. Because we were at kind of max capacity at 32. We need to know, do we need to go buy more tables? Like it's little things like that will help us
and it's
sort of plan these events.
It's silly, but even things like letting the venue know how many people we got, just so they can sort out, like even like a chef that we would talk with the venue and say, okay, if you can communicate how many people you got, so that we can plan cooking stuff accordingly, so that it's not stressful for them on the day, and so that it's also a better experience for us, because you don't have to wait as long and things like that. It's important for us to know in advance, because we can help these guys out. And I don't know that we talked about it today, but we will be capping tickets. So we'll cap at 64. Am I correct?
64 is our cap. We are a third of the way. We're over a third of the way there now, actually, on last numbers. So, and what we have kind of experienced, we've talked about pretty openly, is that there is sometimes that last minute rush for tickets. For the 1K, your last minute rush brought us to cap, but the number of tickets was actually quite small. I think there was 6 or 7 tickets sold, like within the previous 24 hours of the
I think it might have even been double that.
No, not that many.
It might have been closer to 10, wasn't it?
But we were a little bit under, and then it basically took us to cap. And we actually did go over our cap by a couple of people. We had the flexibility to do that for the last event. We don't have the flexibility for this event. So the actual site will shut off at 64 tickets. You won't be able to purchase one. So I cannot stress, don't wait. Because we'll be doing updates regularly in terms of volumes that we've sold and where we're at. So if there's more pricing that's going to get included, we'll let you know. If we're down to our last 10, 15 tickets, we'll absolutely be putting a post so that people know. So if you are sort of holding out, let us know. Just flick us a message, chuck us in Discord or in the New South Wales community chat. Just helps us plan.
And do we tease that there might be a little bit of travel coming up?
Maybe.
Hold up.
That's enough. That's enough teasing.
Baddest batch might be going interstate.
Yeah.
That's all we'll say. We might be going interstate.
What are you saying? 85% chance?
Yeah.
That's pretty solid. 85 is pretty solid.
Let's go with 85.
85 is pretty solid. Yeah. Next set, yeah.
Got some things in the pipeline.
In the oven.
It's gonna be a good time. Look, I think that takes us to the part that I'm personally incredibly excited to talk about and to see things, because I've only seen some pictures and a little 4-second video that Tebow sent us, which is our we're really happy to announce
We
a
are.
partnership with LaserGaming. Tebow is going to talk us through all this stuff and this cool shit that we have from these guys. Some of which will be coming to the 2K, some of which will be available for purchase for you merch fiends, which are all out there, we know. We're super excited.
Yeah.
Tebow, show us.
I'll take you guys through. I'll gonna change a couple of cams and we'll have a look. Okay, so I'm gonna make a little bit of cam work between this cam and this cam. I'll work my magic a little bit. We'll see what we can put together. Okay, what do I start with? I got a bunch of stuff, which I'm excited to show. I'll start with, I guess, a bit of stuff that you guys will be getting. Not sure how many we got. So let's see. But Baddest Batch initiative tokens. Okay, well, one of the versions of the Baddest Batch initiative tokens. For comparison, hold on, I got an unopened one because I got mine somewhere. So, regular token and our token.
Want to rotate them for
There
us,
you go.
buddy?
Well, you for you guys it's flip, but for them it's straight.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Yeah,
They're pretty
sorry.
sick.
Yeah, they're pretty sick. Because for them it's on this one.
They don't have to be initiative tokens. They could also be hand tokens.
So yeah,
if you wanted them to be.
Full disclosure. I will be using mine as my hand token because we have another one. But these are sick. Nothing on the back clear. So everything is acrylic. Okay, LaserGaming makes acrylic. So these are awesome. We will be giving some of these out at our events. We haven't decided yet. We got a few, but we're not sure if we're giving out to a certain top, a certain cut. But yes, these are sick. It's just the branding looks phenomenal. It just looks clean. It's yeah, this is
Very
amazing.
crisp.
Might only
crisp.
be top 4, like a PQ.
It might only be top 4, but these are very, very crisp. Now,
Show us the other color.
Yeah.
Come on.
What is it in? Okay.
Like kids in a candy store. Show us.
Yeah, this is like Christmas for Tebow.
I know.
I'll take it out. So these, well, they are in our personal set and also in the oversized set. We got an oversized set for streaming. So I guess I'll show through there. We did get an oversized set for streaming. Like you guys may have seen in the Sea Raptor stream, but this is the other color, right? Black with at the back the initiative logo, the signature initiative logo from that LaserGaming makes with the Rebel and the Imperial dual one. So these look sick. We have some as well that are a bit smaller. I'll take my box out. Oh yes, I went quick. So
it pops.
These are
so good.
These are our personal ones, which I'm sure we'll be able to get some of those made for the community and things like that. But these are our personal ones. TV and Clint both have one right here. I've only opened mine, put it together, but these look sick. This is magnet, right? So this holds pretty fucking sick. And with our initiative tokens right here. So
it even has a little chance cube holder.
Oh, the chance
so I put mine. So this comes in with a regular die, right? And I just put my chance cube in there.
Nice.
So it fits perfect.
I like that.
So this just
Sorry, Tebow. There's that initiative token in there. It's got the Baddest Batch on the other side as well.
Oh.
Hey!
So these are the same size as these guys, right? So these are our size ones, and so those come in our personal sets. So they just sit here nicely and just pop them open.
Nice.
So man,
like it.
those come with
I like that.
everything acrylic, double-sided, 1 and 3, 5 and 10. I've got all my experience here. So this is 1 and 2, 3 and 4, right? Those stack very well, so everything's going to be...
Sabine's going to love those experience
Everything's
tokens.
going to be crisp. Here we got a bunch. I think we got 5 of these
Reminder
ones?
tokens, yeah. Epic action ones.
Ooh.
Nice.
2 of those, and we got a bunch of shields. The shields look good, man. The shields are sick. I'll show you on the camera. The shields
They
are
do look good.
translucent. They're very, very sick.
I really like those shield ones.
The shields are sick.
They are mint.
They're crisp.
And is there anything underneath, Tigo?
There is.
Oh, there is?
Oh,
So there is a
Oh!
little compartment.
Oh.
So as you can see here on this cam, I don't want to put it away, but there is a little compartment here where you have restore raid sentinels. Here it's what, because I haven't taken the little part off. They all come with a little protective layer, which you have to remove right here.
Nice.
So these are like obviously temporary
Like your
change.
light.
Yeah, change effects. In changing power. Our -1, -1, -2. I like that everything is double sided
Yes.
because I can just go
Yeah.
-1, bam, flip to +2, like
Yeah.
it's +2, +3, flip to a +4, +4. Like everything's pretty simple to use. I don't know how I don't use those too much. It's more, I think, if you're more beginner, like to use as a
Sure.
reminder. Sentinel, I don't mind. I actually don't mind
Sentinel's
the
good.
Sentinel one.
There's a lot of conditional sentinel. So I think
Yeah.
it's not bad to have, that as an option.
Yeah.
To just chuck it on there. If you're not using like the reminder ones, like something that specifically says sentinel. I
And
think
so
that's
that
really
fits
good
in your
to know.
deck box right here. It's basically it replaces
Sick.
your tray. Replaces
Like
your
a
tray.
glove.
Fits like a glove. Tip it slightly, and it just comes out very nice.
Nice.
So I'm excited. I'm excited for that. It's just gonna make our playing experience really cool. The
I think
oversized
the
tokens.
oversized ones. Yeah, cool. Show
For
us those
sure,
because
so-
I think that's been a thing, right?
It
when
has.
we're running our streams, people not being able to see things. I know we've always tried to at our events. We'll keep like a communal, like those big dice
Yeah.
that we use. But sometimes it's not always visible.
dice,
sometimes
yeah.
the lighting gets off.
And sometimes like players have different dies, different color, different things. So yeah, we're just gonna hold on. Let me just grab a regular,
one?
Yeah, grab one. These are owls. I'll just grab one of
I
yours.
mean, you even see it compared to the initiative token. Like that 10
Yeah.
is almost the size of
Yeah.
the regular initiative token, which is
So
pretty bloody good.
that's a regular.
Oh,
Regular
yeah.
Oh
winner.
wow,
That's- yeah. That's considerably larger.
that is
What she said.
Oh, hey.
And so these are going to be really good because it's really easy to see, right? Same again, 5, flip it from a 5 to a 10. Same thing here,
Perfect.
from a 1 to a 3. Again, I have to take those little protective.
Is that why the
layers out.
color's a little bit different?
Yes, because of the protective layer, like here, there you go. Color's the same now.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
See,
Okay.
because now you can see I'm at the back. So these,
Yeah.
they have this
They still have
protective
it on.
layers.
Yep.
Yeah. So these will be really good. What else did we get in our little oversized? One thing that's really cool. So it doesn't come in the regular oversized token kind of set, but they were really, really accommodating, and there were some things that we weren't going to use. So I said, hey, can we get some of these bad boys? So these were the ones you can't see. I'm going to show you. There you go. Defeat a resource token. So for all the Han players out there, and even if you're playing against the Han, like having the peace of mind to say, hey, can you use this and put this on your resources when you're using your Han ability? Obviously, I mean, it's a little Star Wars currency kind of token.
Galactic
so it's
credit.
Galactic credit. So these are really cool. Looking forward to using all these on stream. They'll look good. I think players will like them. Again, you don't have to worry about what this player is using. It's all clear, and it's gonna make a massive difference. Obviously, we'll probably use these ones, the little ones, for our personal use. But on stream, we'll have all these. We have all the. I mean, I can bring out a shield. Shield tokens are
Yeah, see a
massive as well.
big boy shield.
Oh.
Ooh,
I have a card here. Shield looks
Oh,
good.
cool.
Nice. Oh, you know what? I almost want to use the streaming ones just for regular.
Yes, right. They actually look. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Because obviously these ones are good. Like if you're across the table, but those are like.
Let's
it's-
see.
Oh, you
I
got
have
3
fat-
damage.
I have
Bam.
fat fingers, so using the small ones just make them really hard to grab. So the big ones are nice.
I do have a bunch of the Sentinel ones, which
Nice.
fits like perfect on a card. Like
yeah,
bang on.
I like how that sits right on the card.
Like really.
That's
like,
perfect.
I just really
That's
wanna be hard.
that's crisp.
Yeah, because
I like
it
that.
Look,
doesn't
I mean,
impact your text. You can put it at the top potentially.
Tebow and Tivia are going to be the only ones that use the Sentinel tag.
Yeah, they're all for me.
Our-
All 3 of them. That's cool. Look, they were really accommodating. There's a bunch of options that we can grab a bunch of other stuff, whether it's restore, raid, things like that. I grabbed what I thought we would use the most. But yeah, I'm just really looking forward to using all these. Other cool stuff. Well, we got some
There's
stuff.
more?
Well, we got some stuff for them, right? We got because we were talking about PQ pricing. We have 4 of these sets, right? Sets of tokens, standard sets. Sorry, with a bit of everything: experience tokens, modifiers, epic action, and an initiative token, which I don't know if it's a personalized one. Let me check. I'm not sure. I'd have to remove the little protective
We're
cover.
going to have to change that, aren't we?
I have to remove the little protective layer. I don't know if it's a Baddest batch one.
It doesn't look like it. You'd be able to see it through.
But yeah, so I have 4 of these standard ones for you guys to win Lucky Door. I think you'll all be Lucky Door, the PQs. So that'll be fun to go with your fresh little.
We might try and stretch them out over a couple of events.
Yes, yeah, we might. Look, I have a bunch of stuff. The tokens for sure. This we'll see. And lastly, I got that for personal use. But I got those.
These excite me.
I got those dividers, acrylic clear dividers. So I got the clear ones. I'll remove this for demonstration purposes because they also come in white and black.
They are really nice.
They are
But-
very
They
nice.
are very nice.
But ones you can't see. So cunning and villainy.
They're
logo.
very nice.
That's good.
Those are stunning. I'm gonna grab my
Yeah.
my box to show you what it looks like.
So for those at home, unlike me, who puts his set in a folder and sleeved, Tebow and Clint use pretty boxes like this. So I mean that divider is perfect, right? I know you guys have used those other those other ones are cardboard, right?
Yes,
They
well,
are. I've got those ones.
I actually
Yeah.
have both on here because I didn't open all of them. I wanted to kind of keep some sealed type of thing before I did the video review and things like that. But I can show you the difference. I mean, what I use currently is this. I currently use these that I got off Etsy, and I'm slowly switching to these. They just look.
They're very nice.
They're mint.
Let's see. So
They are so
I'm
crisp.
gonna replace this right here.
I love the fact, and you showed it to us earlier, Tebow. I love the fact they have one for leaders and bases. Like
Yes. So I have
they've sorted it. They've thought of it all. I'm in love.
leaders right here.
Oh, mint.
Leaders is crisp. Bases, vigilance. Man, look at this blue black villainy.
I mean, that's a great aspect any day of the week. It looks awesome on that.
So I got them
The
clear.
BBC.
I got them clear
Love
because
some BBC, mate.
I thought I'd like that better, but they come in the black acrylic, the white acrylic. They are a little on the pricier side, but they're sick. They also make. I don't think I have any, just because that's not how I store my cards. But it comes with the name of the sets. So here it says Legend of the Force. I mean, Shadow of the Galaxy, Sparkle Rebellion.
Yeah,
So if you
the title.
Yeah.
exactly, so they already have the Legends of the Force stuff already, so they're prepped. So if you have, if that's how you store your cards, if you store like multiple sets in a box, they have those as well. Leaders, bam. So yeah, no, those are really cool. I'm looking forward to putting all this. I don't know if I'll get it for all 4 sets just because of the price. I can get a bit of a discount maybe. But yeah, look, I'm really excited. It's gonna be fun to have this and just having these for the community. Just having those for the community. Like people have been asking. Funnily enough, like Team is something that Tim mentioned on the broadcast the other day. He said, "Oh, do you guys have initiative tokens?" And I was like, "Well, maybe, maybe we do."
Something we got in the pipeline as well. Look, I think everything looks sick, right? I mean, the crispness of it, those acrylic dividers. I am not a box storer, but
you might be.
mildly tempted now. I love my folders, but they just look sick.
Maybe your bulk.
Yeah, maybe my bulk. I did just sort all that yesterday. I do it by set though, so
Yeah.
I have to go the other way, but they look good. They look great.
A little bit of texture to it, obviously, because it's dug in, so it's
Yeah. No, that's great. We're really excited by this partnership. We're excited to be able to get stuff into the hands of you guys as the community. I think, we started with shirts. We're all repping them. You guys were absolute fiends wanting Baddest Batch shirts, and we are blown away. We just wanted to expand a little bit out into that and get some other things that are linked to the game that you can use. Rep the Baddest Batch merch style. Like Tebow said, we're going to look at getting some of this into your hands as part of prizing. We will be chucking it into the prize pool, making sure that people get some stuff. We've had some ideas at other events, and this event. Like, say there was an uneven number of players and someone got a buy. We've spitball ideas of whoever gets the buy versus one of us in a game, and if you beat us, you might get a token. Like something.
So everyone
something
gets a token, basically.
It's something hard to do, right? But yeah, like things like that. We just want to give back, into the community, grow the community, make this game fun. All the events that we're trying to run, we just want it to be enjoyable for everybody. We're never going to make these events, so top heavy that you're kind of discouraged from coming. We want everyone to walk away with something fun and a good experience. But yeah, this is the next step, right? And I mean, we're going to go back and we are going to talk to LaserGaming about Force tokens.
Yes. Speaking of them,
so
like
they've got something.
I really want to thank them. They were awesome in terms of our collaboration, and they were really easy to work with. They were keen to support us and what we do as well, which is they work with some much bigger channels than us. I mean, as you guys saw, C Raptor, they work with the Unplayable guys and the Garbage Rollers and things like that. So we're really fortunate that they agreed to work with us and kind of help us in both our content creation and also our events, because obviously that's a big part of what we do is the stuff with the community. So I'm really excited. I want to thank LaserGaming and Sarah and the team over there. That they're awesome.
And we will have some videos coming out where we will use some of these items. We'll also have, I'm sure Tebow's going to do an awesome box organization video using the new acrylic.
Yeah, I can do that.
Dividers.
I'll do some ASMR.
Just get really close with the mic and just pull back that peel, like, mate.
And stacking the tokens. Like this.
And look, and he'll do it shirtless on the OnlyFans, the Baddest Batch OnlyFans.
Hey.
So you got to give the people what they want.
Now you're teasing too much of the upcoming content now.
We are expanding our video content though. We have a new category coming out where we're going to have our first ever guest.
Yes.
On the Baddest Batch podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Which we're recording later tonight.
It won't be on the podcast, but it'll be
It won't be on the podcast, no.
But it'll be on the channel for sure.
We will be having a special guest, and we will be doing a masterclass and deep dive into a deck. So watch out for that video this week.
Hopefully the start of a really exciting series that we can bring to you guys to consume at your content leisure. Look,
series was the word I was looking for.
Series, yes, absolutely. Look, thanks guys for listening. Thank you, gentlemen, for sitting with us and doing this recording. Look, exciting times ahead. We are really excited. We're excited with the new swag. We're excited by the event that's coming up. We're excited for the meta shakeup. I think excitement is probably a word that we're going to overuse a little too much at the moment. But thank you all for listening. And as always, good soldiers, follow orders.
Deuces.